There's a lot of talk right now about the Pokemon trading card game and Kyurem VMAX and Giratina VSTAR, and Palkia, of course, is still on the radar as one of the biggest threats in the game. But there's some cards that no one's really talking about right now that kind of got released in a special set. And one of those was Zeraora VSTAR and VMAX, and the other was Deoxys VSTAR and VMAX. Are these worth picking up? I'm Jet from InThirdPerson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Deoxys VSTAR and VMAX and whether they're worth buying. So you can either get them by buying the physical box, and you'll get the VSTAR, and the VMAX in the box. But if you want to build a deck, particularly if you're playing on PTCGO, you might want to go, oh gosh, that's the wrong screen. That's the wrong screen. You might want to go to a place like a Potown store and pick them up. Currently, at the time of this recording, these are selling for $5.99 US for a VMAX, and a VSTAR. I would imagine that this price is going to go down a lot. So if you're looking to get these and you can wait, I would suggest waiting, because I think the prices on these will drop. Now, let's go back to the cards and talk about what they do and what makes them special. Let's go with Deoxys VMAX. It's got 330 HP. It's got the ability Protective DNA. All of your Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon VSTAR. And with the way that the meta is going right now, with Palkia and Giratina and a lot of VSTAR Arceus, there's a lot of VSTAR Pokemon in the meta right now, and being able to take less damage from them is great. Also, you have the move Max Drain for 160 damage, where you also heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. You can charge this up with double turbo energy, but the way that I like to play this deck at this point is with Arceus. So I've got a example build here where I'm going to make a video on this. I might have tweaked it, but you kind of play it like Arceus Gudra, where you've got Arceus to charge up the Deoxys so it can hit for 160, and then you fill it with healing cards like Hyper Potion, like Lucky Ice Pop, like Suspicious Food Tin, and you try and make Deoxys super tanky. Oh, with Gardevoir as well to reduce damage from these. And that's kind of the play that I think works best for Deoxys VSTAR. Is it good though? I think of the two cards, Deoxys VMAX is the weaker of the two, and personally, I don't think Deoxys VMAX is that great. Yes, you could find other ways to play it. You can play it by itself with double turbo energy, but I just don't think it does enough damage or protects itself enough or heals enough to really be relevant. If anything, I think it's actually a worse Gardevoir VMAX, where Gardevoir VMAX hits for 180 and heals 50 from itself, rather than taking 30 less from VSTARs. And yeah, technically, yeah, I don't think this is the strongest of the two, and it's maybe not worth it. However, I really like Deoxys VSTAR, and what makes Deoxys VSTAR so cool is that its Psychic Javelin is okay. There are going to be times where 190 plus a Choice Belt 220, you can get early KOs with this. You can charge this up with a Cresselia or a Shadow Rider or a Celebrations Zacian to get that energy on there in the first place. But the VSTAR Power Star Force is actually really cool. For one Psychic Energy, you do 60 damage times the number of energy on both Pokemon. If you're thinking about Arceus, which usually has 3 energy on it, and you can get this Deoxys with the 3 energy for the Psychic Javelin, can just hit for 300 damage instead, or 360 damage. And it's not that hard to pull off. And I'm not sure if you've watched the video or watched the stream where we pulled off this play a number of times, scoring massive one-hit KOs on big Pokemon that just were not expecting it. And I find that this Star Force VSTAR Power is sometimes enough to overcome its main attack just not hitting as hard. And personally, I really like the Shadow Rider build that we have going on right now, but there are ways of playing Deoxys VSTAR that don't require the Shadow Rider engine. I have a version that I just had on screen that took out the Shadow Riders and was just playing it with the Cresselia and the Zacian instead, and a different draw engine. But regardless of how you play it, I think this card has some sauce. Now, are Deoxys VSTAR and VMAX going to be like top tier cards or decks in the meta? Probably not. Are they decent enough if you're looking to build a row tier deck? I think so. I think that Deoxys VSTAR in particular is a lot of fun and can take down meta decks because that VSTAR power is so good, and not many people know that it's even coming because no one sees Deoxys VSTAR on the ladder. So if you really want it, I think that I would buy this for the VSTAR and not really worry too much about the VMAX. But I would recommend waiting for the price to come down. Now, if you just have to have the Deoxys right now, by all means, go for it. But I do anticipate that the price of this will come down, possibly by the time you watch this video. And at that point, it becomes like a pretty decent budget option if you're looking to build a rogue tier deck with some sauce on it. So there we go. That is my thoughts on Deoxys VSTAR and VMAX. I think they're okay with the VSTAR being better of the two, but I think that in particular, the Deoxys VSTAR has a little bit of sauce to it, and you can catch opponents off guard with that VSTAR attack. But what say you? What do you think about Deoxys VSTAR and VMAX? And am I overrating them? Do you think they're garbage and I shouldn't be telling people to buy these? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And before I go, some quick plugs. You can find me on all of the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In3rdPerson. You can find me on Twitch at In3rdPerson, where I stream the game, Pokemon trading card game, every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And check out my website, In3rdPerson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So for everybody in the stream, stick around. But everybody watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching, and we're out. Later.